The Tronfeld Weston Durette. No win, no fee guarantee.
CBS 6 News at 7:30 starts now.
A tip about a possible student with a gun led two Richmond schools to spend several hours in lock and teach mode. Thanks for joining us here at 7:30. I'm Bill Fitzgerald. And while the threat was not credible, as our Cameron Thompson reports, parents were still left waiting and worrying for hours.
Well over a dozen Richmond, Chesterfield, Petersburg, and state police officers filled the parking lot of River City Middle School Wednesday morning in response to an eventually unfounded report of a student with a gun.
We just received a text that they're on a lock and teach for some suspicious activity.
This parent of an 8th grade student who didn't want to be identified watched the scene unfold from across the street, unable to drop her son off while the school was in lock and teach during the investigation. Police say this started shortly before 9 when a school bus driver picking up students at an apartment complex about 2 miles away called in a tip that she thought she saw a student with a gun.
It leaves a lot of parents on edge to receive a text that we're on a lock and teach.
Police then searched the school for several hours, including with a canine detection team, but did not find any gun or the potential student, and said there was no credible threat, and lifted the lock and teach by noon. A bit of good news for this parent after schools around the area, Virginia, and country have seen threats of violence following last week's deadly high school shooting in Georgia.
Just to see the amount of police presence, and he can't go in, and all these texts from other districts about possible shootings, I'm just on edge.
That same shooting also adding to the nationwide conversation about banning cell phones in schools. Virginia is set to issue statewide guidelines next week, but this parent says situations like today are examples of when they'd want their child to have one.
I use the cell phone as a tracker. I'm sure a lot of parents does that as well. You know, I'm a mom of a teenager. I want to just make sure he's where he's supposed to be. So the cell phone, is kind of important to me for stuff like this.
And while this case ended up being a false alarm, Richmond police say they encourage residents to report any suspicious activity to them by calling 911 immediately.
And officials add that as a precaution, they also had nearby Richmond School for the Arts on a lock and teach as well during the search here at River City. In Richmond, Cameron Thompson, CBS 6 News.
Testimony got underway today in the civil trial against a New Kent Children's Hospital and its former medical director. 46 former patients are suing the Cumberland Hospital for nearly $1 billion. The case is being tried in Richmond. Our Laura French spent the day inside the courtroom listening to testimony.
That evidence